Since you're watching this video, I assume that you finished handling objections. You do know what NEPQ stands for, and you finished the video, the unlisted one, about your day-to-day job as a financial advisor. If you are not my financial advisor, this video is still relevant because what I'm going to teach here is how to gauge your effort and effectiveness within a week. Now, the reason why you need to do that is because this is not like your typical employer-employee relationship. Sinasabi ko na yan sa simula pa lang. This is like having your own business. And as a business owner, you have to know your success rate. For those of you who don't have teams, you're just exploring the opportunity, I will be posting my email address so that you could connect to me. I am recruiting financial advisors. And for those of you who haven't watched the video yet about NEPQ, I'll be linking it down below. And for your day-to-day, pag hindi kita tao, you can just always ask your manager about your day-to-day job. Hi, my name is Leandro Bauzon. I'm a unit manager of financial advisors here in the Philippines, and this channel is made in order for me to help financial advisors streamline their processes and for Filipinos to better manage their personal finance. So, measuring success rate tayo. Two concepts ang gusto kong i-embrace nyo rito, the effort and effectiveness. I won't be defining effort and effectiveness as a word, you can just Google it, but I'll be directly talking about how to do our business as financial advisors. First, effort. Pag sinabi nating effort, these are the input na ginagawa mo para sa negosyo mo. The number of calls that you do in a week, the number of meetings that you held a week, the number of postings you do in social media, the number of people that you message in a week. So lahat yan about effort. On the other hand naman, effectiveness, it's the number of sale that you close in each effort that you put in. So ibig sabihin, yung highest driver natin, which is income, na beneficial sa'yo, it's more of the output. Yun yung naging resulta ng effort na nilagay mo. So, mini-measure din natin yun. These two concepts will help you gauge your success rate. Now, there are some people who just focus on effort. If you focus on effort, the concept that you're embracing is called law on averages. Pag sinabi natin law on averages, ibig sabihin, the more that you attempted an activity, the higher the chance na bumalik yon as an effective sale. So, lagyan ko ng example. Pagpalagyan natin nagbibenta ka ng candy sa subdivision mo. Kumatok sa unang bahay, nireject ka. Sa pangalawang bahay, hindi ka pinansin. Sa pangalawang bahay, nakinig siya pero hindi pa rin bumili ng candy kasi hindi niya kailangan. Pang-apat, pang-lima, pang-anim, nireject ka lahat. Pero sinuyod mo yung buong subdivision, yung huling apat bumili sa'yo. It's because yung first, naghahanap talaga ng candy. Second, na-convince mo. Third, nirefer ka kasi. Kaya umuon na rin sa'yo. And yung fourth, kamag-anak mo pala. Sinuportahan ka. So, hindi mo maaabot yung huling apat kung hindi mo sinuyod lahat. So, that is the concept of effort. Na kahit hindi mo i-focus yung strategy mo na baguhin, alam mo na meron at meron kang mabibentahan because nilahat mo sila. The problem with this concept is that ang mindset nito ay you focus on things that you do. Naglalagay ka ng sobrang daming input. Pagpalagay natin sa insurances, you set an appointment to 50 people sa first week, pero walang umuo sa'yo. The only improvement na gagawin mo sa strategy mo is next week gagawin mo silang 100. Para at least meron kang at least 2 hits. Sa susunod na 150 na. Eh ngayon, maraming financial advisors ang part-timer. So, that strategy alone cannot be practical. So, the only way for you to maximize that effort is to put that on certain activities that might be proven effective. So, ano naman yung effectiveness kasi? Effectiveness kasi is more on looking at it in a way kung saan magbibigay ka sana ng minimum effort pero nako-convert mo siya sa magandang output. In your case, it's sale. So, mas ini-embrace yung concept ng Pareto Principle. When you say Pareto Principle, you focus on things na magbibigay sa'yo ng highest driver of income and then, doon ka lang mag-e-effort or at least doon mo ibubuhos yung effort mo kasi siya yung magbibigay ng highest return. So, ang mindset ng mga taong naka-focus sa effectiveness is they want to be better and better sa ginagawa nila. Tinitweak na nila kada linggo yung ginagawa nila para next time, with the same effort, mas marami silang ma-convert. So, given the example nung kanina, kung si effort, pag-uusap siya ng 10 tao para bentahan ng insurance, may isa siyang nako-close. So, next week, ang gagawin niya, 20 yung kakausapin niya para maging 2 yung closing niya. Sa effectiveness naman, 10 yung nakausap niya, may isa siyang na-close. I-make sure niya na next week, 10 yung kakausapin niya pa rin, pero 2 yung makuklose niya. Kaya every week, ini-improve niya yung strategy niya. Now, walang mas magandang way yon, though effectiveness focus is the modern way on how to do business. And I think this is more effective para sa product and solutions natin because here in the Philippines, it's very important na kumuha ang isang tao sa magaling mag-explain, sa may relationship siya, kumbaga trust and confidence nandun. So sometimes, kung nasuwid mo na lahat ng tao mo, kung ikaw si effort focus, pwedeng nakausap mo yung tao na yun pero hindi sa'yo kumuha because you are not that good or you don't have any relationship with them. So, kailangan natin i-balance yung dalawang concept na yun. Hindi ka pwedeng pure effectiveness lang din. Kasi pwedeng hindi mo na ma-maximize ang lahat ng benefits ng meron ka, which is yung negosyo mo ngayon, kung nakafocus ka lang sa etong effort ng ibibigay ko. So, the ideal is high effort, high effectiveness. If you're going to think of it, kung high effort ka, pero low effectiveness ka naman, you're just being a busy bee. So, nagpapaka-busy ka sa mga bagay, pero hindi mo naman nako-convert. If you are high effectiveness naman, pero low ang effort, you are just on the coast. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo nararide yung waves ng benefit. It's because hindi ka lumalabas sa kung ano man yung comfort zone mo. You are the worst if you don't have effort and effectiveness. Kailangan mong improve yan. So, while you know the two concepts of effort and effectiveness, gagamitin mo yung pang-gauge ng success rate ng negosyo mo. This is the key in order for you to stay high-performing and maging very fulfilling yung trabaho mo as financial advisor. So, I'll be giving you steps para ma-implement yan sa negosyo mo. But before that, kailangan nating balikan ano ba yung mga trabaho mo. You do have 3 jobs nung nag-commit ka sa financial advisor. Nahati siya sa training, recruiting, and selling. Training muna tayo. Training is more on an effort-based. Kasi, ang kailangan mo lang naman gawin, manood ka ng training sa videos, umattend ka ng klase, umattend ka ng online class, kasi given naman sa'yo yung training, free naman yan. Now, the only way para maging effective ka sa training is when you apply it to your business. Pag nakipag-usap ka sa tao na i-apply mo yung mga concept na yun, that's the time that you are going to realize na nagiging effective ka as a financial advisor. Since it's very difficult for you to measure the effectiveness of training, lalabas at lalabas yan whenever you do have conversation with your manager kapag nag-mentoring or coaching session kayo. Kasi ipapaalala ni manager kung ano yung mga mismong concepts and all you need to do is to apply it the next time nagagawa ka ng activity kung may na-miss ka man. So over time, magiging effective ka rin. All you need to do pag training ang pinag-uusapan is to effort na matapos yung mga training mo. Effort na ulitin yon. Effort na itanong yon sa manager mo para mas maging malinaw. At effort na ilagay yan sa mismong conversation mo with the client. So there's no need to measure it. You will feel and realize if you're being effective pagdating sa mga training mo. Next, recruitment. Recruitment is not your main job. Ako ang billing ko sa inyo as manager. The only time that you are going to open the idea of recruiting is whenever you encounter a prospect client na kulang yung pera niya. And ang way para matulungan mo siya is to propose an extra income. And that extra income could help the personal finance of your client. I-refer mo siya sa akin. Kasi this could give an extra income to that person. Or if there are any people who are interested in the things that you're doing, you recruit them. And I won't be telling you to focus on that and to measure it week per week. So, let's focus on your sales. Kasi doon tayo, doon ka originally kumikita. So, I'll be giving you steps kung paano siya i-implement week per week. Step 1. Based on your schedule, whether you're a part-time or full-time, you have to plot kung ilang meetings ang kaya mong gawin. Since we talk about effectiveness, let's incorporate the Pareto Principle. Yung Pareto Principle, again, you must focus on activities that will generate the highest returns. And in our case, it's the number of meetings. Kasi the more na kumakausap ka talaga ng tao, na-expose ka at nagagawa mo yung trabaho mo. At pag nagawa mo yung trabaho mo ng tama, you will be able to close a sale. So yun ang priority activity mo week per week. Now, I understand that not all of you are full-time. So, look at your schedule, look at your calendar week per week, and see kung ilan ang kaya mong ilagay na meeting. Ang minimum, siguro, at least 5. If you have 9 to 5 job, ng Monday to Friday, pwedeng yung 5 na yun, ilagay mo sa weekend. Pwedeng yung 5 na yon i-spread out mo all throughout the week. It's up to you. But at least 5 ang targetin mo ng meeting. If you're a full-time, it's up to you kung ilan. Basta, i-commit mo yung sarili mo that week per week, you're going to talk to at least ganitong number of tao. Kung 5 yan, parang isa lang yan sa isang araw, kung Monday to Friday mo gagawin. Kung weekend yan, pwedeng grupo sila na 5, i-meet mo isang beses. Basta, it's up to you. Pero it's very important for you to have a meeting dahil yan ang driver. So, yun step 1. Also, since we are talking about step 1, you should learn how to prioritize people. I know that our business can help all the Filipinos. But if you're going to put the business perspective, you wanted to talk to people that will give you return as well. So I will just give you this acronym na tatandaan mo bago ka mag-set ng appointment. BANT or BAT. First, the person that you should be talking to should have a budget. It is important because you will teach them how to manage their personal finance. If that person doesn't have budget, hindi mo siya matutulungan. If ever maka-encounter ka ng gano'n, kala mo may pera, pero nag-usap kayo, wala pala, recruitin mo. Pero ang point is, you prioritize people with money. Kasi budgeting ang ituturo. Next, ask for the authority. A. Authority means, siya ba yung decision maker of the family? Because I've seen a lot of rejection na ang rejection nila, I'll be talking to my wife first. I'll be talking to my husband first. Itatanong ko muna sa magulang ko. So ask them, are you the decision maker of the family? Because if not, you could invite also the person. Kung wife siya, sama mo yung husband mo. Set natin. Gets? So B, budget. A, authority. M, there is a need. So it is your job to have like preliminary scanning of your clients if they have a need of an insurance. But more or less, all people naman needs insurance. It's just that, mas magandang opening yun kung naaral mo yung situation niya and you have an idea na kaya mo siyang alokan. For example, you saw on Facebook that they have a new son na bagong panganak. So may idea ka na that they can be interested with one of the products that you are selling, which is the educational plan. So something like that. But at least may establish mo na, I can help them with the need. And last, you can bind them on a time frame. So one of the rules here in insurance is that we cannot sell on people abroad. So don't prioritize people na nasa abroad na hindi pa uuwi. Kasi yung time frame nun is hindi mo talaga mako-close within the week or within the month. So find people na tingin mong hindi makangailangan ng sobrang habang time, but you will be able to close them within a month. So tanda mo yung BANT na yon before you make a move on setting appointments. Step 2. Step 2 is the manner of how you're going to set appointment. You could call them. You could message them on their social medias. You could attract them through your postings or sharing educational content. So it's up to you. But the second step is more on effort-based. Kung sa Monday to Sunday mo, sinet mo na magkakaroon ka ng meeting ng Saturday, Sunday, ibuhos mo lahat yung effort mo ng Monday to Friday by posting in your social media, messaging people about your business, or setting appointments, reconnecting with friends, meeting people to re-establish or rekindle the fire of your connection, or magpapansin ka sa social media nila mismo, like greet them happy birthday, mag-react ka sa mga posts nila, dun mo ibuhos yung volume effort sa mga ganong activity, sa setting of appointment. Kailangan mo lagyan talaga ng oras yan, day in, day out. Now, kailan ka titigil? Since ang target mo sa step 1 is to meet at least 5 people or kung ilan man yung sinet mo, you stop nung effort na ginagawa mo kapag na-meet mo na yung number of people na yon. Let's just say, Saturday, Sunday ka magsiset ng meeting. Monday, kinausap mo yung mga kamag-anak mo, and then may 5 ka na kagad na meet ng Sabado. Na-assure mo na. You could stop. I don't want you to exhaust yourself. I want you to have good weeks as well. Kaya kahit na Tuesday, mag-set naman ako yung next week naman, tapos yung next month naman. I don't want you to do that because I don't want you to experience burnout. Sobrang daming nababurnout kasi they don't know when to stop. So, let's do it like a marathon instead of a sprint. Step 2 is more on the effort base. So, makokontrol mo yan. They hire the input, they hire the chance that you will succeed. Step 3 is in relationship with step 1 and step 2. Kung sa step 1, alam mo na kung ilan yung isa-set mo na meeting. Step 2, yung effort mismo ng meeting. Step 3 is you make sure that you record your effort. At the end of the week, magre-reflect ka. So for starters, isulat mo muna kung ilan sa week na yon ang naging successful para magkaroon ka ng preliminary number kung ilan yung nilagay mo na input. So let's just say kung mag-usap ka ng 50 na tao, minessage mo sila isa-isa sa kanilang Facebook. So habang ginagawa mo sa step 2, nagtatantos ka kung ilan para malaman mo na after 20 attempts, may 5 meetings na ako. Para yun yung magiging basis natin. That's step 3. Now, step 4 is the conduct itself. So I will be asking you to go back to the video about handling objections or NEPQ, plus the budgeting, plus kung ano man yung trabaho natin as BSFE, master it. Kailangan ma-deliver mo siya in the most effective manner na meron kang conversation, nandun yung grit mo, nandun yung empathy mo, you make everything simple. And you help that person mag-plan smart to live fully. You have to conduct your financial needs analysis at the only way na masasabi mong effective yun is when nagkaroon sila ng light bulb moment. It will come naturally, believe me. The manner how I made the script for our unit, it is the modern day of conducting presentation to client of insurances here in the Philippines. Whether you close that person or not, if you end up in a partnership na trinas ka niya and nagkaroon siya ng confidence sa ginagawa mo because you're competent, naka-lock in na yun. Ask referral as well. That is the only way that you could conduct your business well. Now, after the 5 meetings ng isang linggo, the 5th step is for you to compute kung ilan ang success rate mo. Based sa number ng minute mo, ilan ang successful. So kung may 2 kang na-close sa 5 mong na-meet, you are 40% successful. That is your effectiveness rate. Step 6, meet or schedule an appointment with your manager para pag-usapan niyo yung linggo. You should not do your business alone. That's the reason you do have managers like me. Pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung nangyari sa buong linggo mo. Itanong mo sa kanya, bakit kaya hindi nag-work to? How can I improve this? Magtanong ka kung ano yung mga pwedeng advice na may bibigay pa niya sa'yo para tumaas pa yung effectiveness mo. Kailangan ba dagdagan yung effort mo? Those questions, you should be diligent enough kung seryoso ka talaga sa negosyo mo. Kami, we are being trained to become coach and mentors. And the only way that we could help you is kung alam namin kung ano yung nangyayari sa'yo. So yung pag-secure ng report, trabaho mo yun. Pagbibigay sa amin ng report is trabaho mo yun. Ang trabaho namin is tulungan namin kayo based on your effort and effectiveness para mas gumaling ka pa. So yun yung 6 steps na dapat mo palaging ginagawa. So if you're going to think about it, kung every weekends kang nakikipag-meet sa mga kliyente, Monday to Friday, doon ka nagsiset ng appointment, nagpo-post ka sa mga social media, umaattend ka ng mga gatherings and socialization events in order for you to increase your network. Now, you will have plenty of time pa to do admin job like closing the deal talaga, yung napapasa na sa system ninyo. And you could do this part-time talaga. So, make sure mo lang na week per week, you will have your reflection. That is the only way in order for you to succeed sa negosyo. Actually, sa lahat naman ng bagay hindi ka pwedeng bira ng bira tapos hindi ka nag-look back kung ano pa yung pwede mong gawin para next time. It's either mas konting effort pero mas magandang resulta or kailangan ka pa dagdagan yung effort. Lahat na yun, marirealize mo lang kapag inupuan nyo yun ng manager ninyo at nagkaroon kayo ng coaching session para mas makita mo yung zoom out ng negosyo mo. So that's how you measure your business week per week. I am supplying everything that I can to my financial advisors. I am putting it out there as public materials because I would like to increase the financial literacy of Filipinos, and I believe that financial advisors like you are the key para matulungan natin ang Pilipino. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope this video did help you become a better financial strategist.